Hey guys, wanted to show you a couple apps that we like to use. Really helps make the job easier doing a couple things. So the first one I'm going to show you is probably one of my favorite apps. It's called TurboScan. This is an app that you can use to scan documents, scan bill of ladings, any kind of paperwork. If you need to scan a receipt and email it, what it does is it uses your camera on your phone or your iPad or whatever mobile device you're using, and it converts it to a PDF, and then you're able to email the PDF off to whoever you need to, so it can be shared with anybody else. I'm going to show you how a couple features that we use on it. Um, Over here on the right, on the bottom, you'll see the little camera icon. And the way this shows up, it might show up a little bit different on your phone. I'm using the iPad to do it, so it's a little bit of a bigger screen on YouTube. But what you would do is you would click this little camera icon, and that'll bring up your camera for you. As you can see, I got this little piece of paper here that I'm going to try to scan. Then once it snaps that picture, it's going to bring up this red screen so you can adjust the frame. And what you can do is you can cut out any stuff, background that it might have caught in there. You just grab these little red dots and move it over. Then once you're done adjusting the frame, you just click done. And then it looks like it changed it to photo. If you look down at the bottom right hand side, it says photo. If you click that, it changes it to black and white, BW, or you can do color, but this is just a black and white piece of paper, so it's not going to show any color. So we usually leave it in the black and white just because when you go to send it to the printer, it makes it a lot easier for printing. Then you would just click next and then done. Then that saves it for you. Then if you want to go to it and you wanted to email it, down here at the bottom with the little square with the arrow pointing up, if you click that, it brings up your list of things you can do with it. You can email as a PDF, email it as a JPEG, which is basically a picture. You can save it to your camera roll or where all your pictures are. You can send it as a text message. You could copy it, and then you could go into an email and just paste it into an email if you wanted, or then you could print it. So that's one way you could use this this app. Let me close this. Let me show you another way we like to use this is the icon over at the top right. It looks like a little mountain with a sun. If you click that, what that does is it brings up any photos that you might have taken, all your camera stuff. If you click on your camera roll, you can see I got a picture here. I can click on that. And then what it does is it will convert any picture that you already have saved on your phone. And then all you would do is just do the normal, adjust your the frame on it. Then click done. And then, of course, it converts it to the PDF for you again. And then you would just click next, then done. And then, of course, you could do the same. You could email that off. Now, we've never used this little middle icon, the 3 time. Let's see what that does. Oh, it takes 3 pictures at once, so I really don't know what the use for that would be. But like I said, we've never really used that. But it's pretty cool, too. You could, like, take pictures of something, and you can turn it to a black and white kind of picture. I guess you could use some photo apps for that also, but Let me also, I'm going to show you another favorite one we use. We use this pretty much daily. It's called Let's Truck Fuel Gauges. And what this does is this is how we track our fuel mileage. And I'll show you how this works. If you see, I got 3 trucks lined up. The first one is our truck. The second one is we use for our DEF to track out what our mileage per gallon on our DEF is. And then the third one is just our personal truck that we track at home. I just started doing that. But let's click on the first one, which is our truck. And it brings up a whole list of all my fill-ups. You can see I've got a couple partials in there. Over here on the right, it says partial. I didn't fill up all the way on those times, so what I did was just I clicked partial, and I'll show you how to do that. The way you add a new fill up is up at the top here, right there. There's a little fuel icon or gas pump. You click on that. Then it brings up all the info that you would want to enter in. You want to put your odometer in, how many gallons you fill up, the price that it was per gallon. Then it automatically calculates your total cost for you. Now there's a few other things down here that you can put in. Right here is where I said there's a full fill up or partial fill up. Now the partial fill ups when you don't fill your tanks up all the way, and then of course the full fill up is when you top them off. And then down here, there's a bunch of other things. You can put in what type of fuel you bought. Here's ultra low sulfur diesel. What speed you were driving for that last tank. We usually drive about 62. And you could put the temperature out if it like summertime, if it's 96 degrees out, you could, or if it's winter time, it saves that info. You can put what your gross weight was. We're usually between 25 and 30. Then you can put the city you filled up at, the state. And basically what these things down here are for is if you ever wanted to go back and look to see like, well, why did I get 9 miles a gallon on this fill up and 11 on the next fill up? And you can like compare the two fill ups or stuff. But we rarely ever use this bottom stuff. The only ones we always use is these top 3: odometer, gallons, price per gallon, then our total costs. And one thing that's cool about using this app is if you use the profit gauges, it automatically syncs all your fill-ups and how much you spent on diesel to your profit gauges. So at the end of the month when you're entering all your costs for that month and everything, you don't have to double your fuel. It's already put in there for you. So that's a really cool feature that we like because we use that profit gauges. There's other options on here too. Up here at the top where there's a little wrench, you could even add maintenance costs in there. If you get some repairs done or something, you could put in some notes for your maintenance. And then of course that always syncs up to your profit gauges also. So another thing that you wouldn't have to put in at the end of the month if you needed new tires or if you got an oil change or something. You just put it in on this app and then it saves it for you in there. So these are 2 apps that we probably use just about every day. I wanted to share with you guys. Hope you like them. If you have any questions or any comments, feel free to leave them down at the bottom. You can email, find us on Facebook. Talk to you later. Bye.